Alright, so this is a warning label for those that's going to continue watching this video. I will say this now. This may contain seizure warnings. Flashing lights and disoriented movements may cause you to go in a seizure. So, epilepsy warned. Now, let's get to the children's side of things. Children, this video game may be very intense or graphical for you to watch. Get a parent or legal guardian to check out the rest of the video to make sure you are able to watch this. If you do not do that, well, that's on you, not me. Parents, make sure you watch this away from children, or children you don't want this to be exposed to. This is a warning label after all. This is more to protect both of us. If you disregard this warning label, then it's not my fault that you are continue watching this and thinking the warning label sucks. I know some of you are probably skipping over this. If so, it's a minute and 20 seconds long. Please enjoy the rest of the video, and please do not skip this warning. Alright, let's get down to business. This is Space Marines 2. It was really fun for me. It was really enjoyable. I am not gonna lie, this game had so much to offer. It had so much more to offer than Helldivers 2, than Concord, even though Concord just kinda got killed off after 2 weeks. Which is a shame, like, I was expecting to try that game out later on, when it was cheaper, but, you know. Wasn't a whole lot of players, Sony was like, we're pulling the plug. Fair enough. However, enough about that. Let's talk about Space Marines 2. The storyline I actually really enjoyed. I will not be showing the story, campaign missions, except for operations in this video. PvP and operations, because of the fact that, hey, the game's still new, it just came out. So I'm going to wait like maybe a few months, like a month or two, you know, just something before I start posting campaign side of things, and maybe going through a campaign, maybe convince some friends to join me on campaign. But for the most part, no, like this game was really, really amazing. It felt like a 360 game in a good way. Best way to put it. Like, best way to say it is, this game has best of both worlds. It has your multiplayer for those that are multiplayer focused. You got your single player for those that are single player focused. And if you're not a big PvE person, they got that PvP. Like, you really have options to play this. Plus the customization, I just really loved the armor customization into this game. Like, you can tell they pour a lot of effort into this game. It almost felt like they took so much pride making this, and it just feels so sad that a lot of shooters these days, or a lot of games these days, don't follow these older methods. Like, it's just amazing how this game turned out. Like, graphic-wise, it's beautiful. Gameplay-wise, it's really fun. It could get repetitive later on, but the thing is, it's one of those good repetitives, by my opinion. It's something where, hey, there's always something new you could try out, or say you rarely did something, and then you could try that again and see if you could do, like, flawless or speed runs. Like, honestly, I am wanting to see what challenge runs this could be. Like, I'm half tempted to go through the whole game melee only because it felt so good. But anywho, enough about that. Let's talk about story. Story, I thought it was really good. I also like how the multiplayer for the PvE side of things run alongside the story. So, for context, you go through the main story first, and that's story A. That's the point of view that majority of single player people are going to see. And then story B is going to be the multiplayer stuff, the PvE multiplayer. and those are called operations. Story B tells you what's happening on the other side of those comms. Because in the first part of the story, in Story A, you hear conversations through the comm, and it's the main character you play as through the story talking to the team in the multiplayer. Now, I kind of wish there was a way where you could get like 6 people and actually run the story simultaneously with each other and see how well that can go, with like Team B going through one side of the story while Team A goes in the other. But that's probably a little too much. I know that'd probably be like asked to program, but honestly, it's just really good. Another thing I really enjoy is the sociability, because one of the things the game actually does before you leave the squad is to keep you with that squad. So you could do like 6 missions with each other, have fun, talk to each other, make new friends. Meanwhile, you could also, and I do mean also, if you really wanted to, just leave the squad after you do the mission and queue up for another one. Like, it really is up to you how you want to do that. And now what I like is having those options. So say, hey, I can only do one mission, I'm going to talk to the team, and just have fun. Let them know, hey, I gotta bounce and do other things. I can do that. Like, I tell them, hey, I'm going to leave squad, you guys continue without me, and if you want, you can add me. So that's like a really fun feature. Gameplay wise, it feels like Gears of War and Halo mixed together, like essentially that perfect balance. You got the grittiness and the heavy combat of Gears of War, but you got your like armor that serves as shields like Halo, and your combat setting pretty much dictates how well you play. I also like the finishers they added, where you, on PvE, you can, and I do mean can, restore your armor, which is amazing. Because there's times that I could just be like dying, but yeah, as long as I keep those finishers up before I can get my next stims, or anything that can heal me, I can keep that armor going and prolong my life. And that's like really good feeling, because it gives you that sense of panic where, oh shit, I gotta get my armor back up, or I'm gonna have to get my health back up somehow. So I'm gonna try and keep this armor as long as I can, and do a bunch of finishers or parries or whatever I need to do to get that armor up so I can go and scavenge for more health. Another thing is, I like the environment. There's breakable crates in the environment, which you will be seeing in here. Those breakable crates like gives you so much options, because you could get like an armor booster, you could find health, you can find ammo, you could just find all sorts of things in those breakable crates, and you can use those to progress the story, or, you know, make it where you don't have to worry about ammo as much. Now, I haven't played the harder difficulties, but I like how some of the stuff slowly ramps up. Like, it gives you suggestions, hey, if you've got a character that can do this at this level, then this is the difficulty you can play as. These difficulties are going to get more brutal, and they're going to get more difficult to play, which is completely understandable. Like, I understand how they did it. They want you to ease right into the difficult parts of things. Now, another thing I really enjoy is everything is so well freaking balanced. Like, this game actually got a freaking flamethrower that works. I'm sorry, Helldivers 2, but those nerfs were freaking ridiculous, so yes. Like, all the weapons actually have their roles. They feel good. The weapons I feel like that are really overpowered are the heavy weapons, and or the melees. But even then, they're supposed to be good. Like, if you actually have a heavy in your squad on the operations, that helps so much. Another thing I actually really enjoy is the armor customization. Like I said, they actually have majority of the chapters, and you could technically set yourself up as like a Death Watch member or a Salamander, Imperial Fist, Iron Wall. What else you could do? You could do Ultramarine, like the game mainly has you play as, or you could do like Blood Blood Angels, I think. Red ones? I'm still new to the 40k lore. This game is the reason why I'm getting into 40k right now, so don't yell at me, please. Anywho, this is like one of those games where you could just pretty much play casually or competitively. Like, I like the operations, how it's set up, where, hey, you could play the operations, but yet you could, and I do mean you could, get a bunch of friends and do a race of some sort, like see how many, who could get like the best scores or who could find the most things. Another thing is, I like how everything fits together. You don't actually see things like looking like out of place. Like, looking in the background of the missions, you see, oh, that's your objective right there. And you're going to defend an area to make that objective go kablooey or something like that. Like, there's just so many options. Not options, just detailed to the environment. Like, the environment has, like, one of the most good-looking environments I've seen in video games in history. Like, this is what Halo 3 felt like to me. Was really amazing, good environment. The gameplay just didn't lack anything. There's like enough enemy types to make me feel like I have to pay attention to what I do. Like, for instance, lore-wise, the Tyranids have a synapse system, and you could technically kill the biggest enemy in that room, and it takes out a bunch of the little guys. And to me personally, think that's actually pretty cool, because hey, if you're in a huge swarm, you're getting surrounded. What can I do to fix this? I'm going to take out the bigger guys. Yes, the smaller one's taking out my armor, but I have confidence in my armor. So I'm going to take out the bigger guys and try and take out as much enemies with one hit. Which that incentivizes, hey, against Tyranids, you probably shouldn't attack only the little ones. You should go straight for the big ones and pretty much treat it like a boss. Essentially, boss rules. I'm going to have this big guy right here, and he's the boss. If I take him out, the minions will go away. And that just feels so good and so rewarding, even though, hey, it's just a tiny little detail. Yeah, like, one of the most beautiful things I really enjoyed is this game. Like, I felt like just pure badass playing this game, best way to put it. But yeah, I like a lot of the features they implemented on here, because there's just so much could happen, and it's just like so much, so little time. Like, one of the features I like is they give you a button to look at what's going on, and you can use that button to say, hey, this is what's going on versus this. And so yeah, also the various weapons just feel good, they're unique, and like I said, they're just not nerfed. But yeah, like, just the PvEs just feels so good. I need to stop bragging about it. Alright, let's let this part finish playing out, get a little moment or two, and then we'll talk about the PvP.
It's on a stick. Vermin and crawled through the refinery. Picking up extra rounds. Swapping magazine.
Halfway there, brothers. Keep it up.
Exterminate. All specs prime. And then say all specs scan.
Where shall I plant this flag?
Ammunition cache. Brothers, they are almost over the wall.
You have trespassed on this Imperial domain for too long! The swarm has almost fully committed. Be ready for my mark.
All specs ready to scan. We are allies. Swapping magazine.
You are clear to detonate. Cook those rotten bastards.
Spark the blaze of vengeance.
Tenant biosign's down 90% and falling. Swarm annihilation confirmed. Excellent work. Move to extract. Thunderhawk arriving at evac point. Ramp down and ready.
Alright, PvP side of things. Oh boy, the PvP feels so good. Me personally, this is how PvP should be like. It should be balanced, fair, and any mistakes is your mistake. It's not your teammates, it's not the enemy team. Pretty much, this tells you how well you can play. Now, I've been playing this for just a few days now, because I believe yesterday I just completed the storyline, so now I'm getting into the PvP and the operations. So I'm low level, don't have everything. But even then, with low level and basic stuff, I'm like ripping to shreds other teammates. Now, I will say this gameplay may show me getting my ass whooped here and there, because hey, I was a dumbass and decided to walk away from my team. When instead I should have been near them and sticking around them and everything. I like the class system for PvP, because essentially the class has different roles, like tactics will reveal enemies, show them where they're at, allow you to deal extra damage if you can catch them, and so forth. While the sniper has cloaking device, they can just cloak, sneak around behind the objective, and just take out a bunch of enemies without them realizing. One of the coolest things is the ammo and the grenades, or whatever you need to find, it's just scattered on the map. Like, you have to track that down. And reason why I enjoy that is because, hey, if this enemy team only has a pistol left, then they're going to have to track down ammo, or they're not going to do as much damage. Especially if I have like an auto botor
All specs is ready.
or a heavy bolt rifle, stuff like that. Just mowing them down quicker than they can fire actually helps out. Well-placed aiming and burst firing does actually play a good role, because of the fact that, hey, headshots still double, right? So because of that, you might want to make sure you try and aim well. And one of the things I got in the habit of is aiming right between the head and the shoulders, because of Halo, how the battle rifle worked. So because of that, I was like getting some good aims right there. And it just felt so good and so rewarding when I win a clash. However, one of the things I'm not a huge fan of is when you're playing as heretics, you don't have as much customization as you would if you're playing Imperium. So essentially how this works is it's Space Marines versus Chaos Space Marines. And the Chaos Marines don't have as much customization as I wanted to, because I would have liked to be able to, like, maybe make the armor more highly decorated, or be able to do a little more. But honestly, just still being able to use any Imperium color you want helps. But I'm trying to keep lore accurate with a lot of these stuff, so it makes sense that I just keep the Chaos Marines as Chaos Marines color, if that makes any sense to a lot of you. I will most definitely play this more, and if this video does very well, expect like a lot of challenge runs or stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, this is probably like the most well-balanced experience I ever had. Just being able to go toe-to-toe, even playing field with people. Now, I know at some point probably will be unbalanced as people starting to unlock more, because I know that we're still like in the earlier phases, and I don't see anyone higher than 12 or 13 for PvP. In PvE side of things, I don't see people higher than like 20 to 30. But that's just how things are, because with PvE, you can up your difficulty, and you'll get higher XP rewards, while PvP, everyone's on the even playing field, so your XP gain is based on if you have a victory or lose a victory. But that's being said for the PvP side of things, because there's really not much to say except bragging about it. But yeah, like I said, it pretty much feels like Gears of War meets Halo. So you pretty much got like basic movement mechanics, enough to actually help you. And then you got your shield mechanic or health mechanic, which is automatic on PvP. So you don't need to go and track down stims to regen your health. You just got to stay out of combat long enough, and your health will restore. But it takes a good chunk. Like, I mean good chunk of staying out of combat. But for the most part, it just doesn't harm you at all. And it just rewards that, like, good movement placements and everything. Like, me trying to stay in cover long enough and actually peek across corners best as I can without getting caught is like the best thing I can do. Like, this is my movements after like a few days of playing, Just imagine what it'll be like after like maybe a few months or a year of playing this game.
What truths need revealing?
But yeah, so I will say this: if you guys want to see more of this, let me know. I'll see about doing more sociable side of things. But yeah, like let's talk about unlocking things now. The progression. So the progression side of things is actually best way to put it is you got your screen, like this kind of screen you're seeing right now is your loadout selection, but however it also serves as a once you get back to the battle barge, it serves as a showing your progression. So in order to unlock armor pieces, you got two ways to doing it from my understanding. You either have to get enough victories to actually unlock armor pieces for whatever class you're using, and I do mean victory for each class. So basically, say this armor piece takes 17 to unlock for tactical, it's also going to take 17 for Vanguard, Bulwark, I think, or something like that? Bulwark? I can't remember. I rarely use that class anyway. Or Assault, you know. Each class you have to have separate progressions for. But however, the PvE side of things, gun progression, relies with your gun progression. So in other words, there's this, your guns are same unlock with everyone else. So essentially say, hey, the light bolt pistol goes with every single class. You max that out, it's maxed out for every single class. You don't have to redo anything for the bolt pistol on that class, because you already unlocked it. Say you did it with tactical when you're trying to max out your tactical, you maxed out your light pistol, and so therefore your sniper has that same light pistol, your heavy has that same light pistol, etc. So that's actually pretty cool. I like the idea of that. On PvE side of things, you pretty much have access to all your weapons, which I really enjoyed that option, because with PvE, you just want to have fun. Now, I did hear like a few people complaining, saying, hey, progression on this is a bit slow, like I don't feel like I have power fantasy. And bet you a lot of them probably was disregarding progression side of things. So essentially, what I would always suggest is start out the lowest level, get your character up pretty high, get your weapons pretty decent, and then you work your way up. You don't just go straight into the fray. So say, hey, I got this level 1 heavy, I don't want to go straight into the hardest difficulty in dealing with hordes and hordes of enemies. Another thing I would like to mention is, yes, stuff takes a while, but do note higher difficulties will speed up that process. And essentially, what you do is you start with the level 1 difficulty, which is minimum threat, and then you go up a tier. That's like your level 5 character. That gives you more XP to rank up that character, but also rank up your weapons. Because you see, as you're ranking up your character, you're ranking up your weapons, which is amazing. PvP side of things, progression has its own progression. So essentially, as you level up, you start to unlock new guns, new equipment, etc. And so that really is awesome, because the fact that, hey, you could go on PvE and say, hey, I grinded out PvE for so long, I have all the great weapons for PvP. That just feels unbalanced. Kind of feels like COD at that point, if you think about it. It's like, oh, I did this in Warzone, so I actually have all of this stuff available for COD 6 multiplayer, etc., you know? No, this game does not do that. Plus, I also enjoy not having a battle pass in this game. Like, you pay $60 or $120, you don't need that battle pass. And this game delivers what it delivered from day one. Like, there was no overhyping it, there was nothing. Another thing is I like the Imperium progression. So essentially, the Astartes character skins you can unlock, like the collars, the armor, stuff like that, is all tied together to whatever you do. So if, say, you go and farm the points you need to unlock your cosmetics in PvP, those cosmetics are going to be available for PvE. So that helps out a lot as well. But, yeah, enough rambling here. I'm just going to let the rest of the video play out. I do want to say thank you for watching, and hopefully you guys is enjoying this game too. And maybe we can come across each other and just have fun, you know. But yeah, see you in the next video. Have a good day, good night, and good evening. Talk to you later.
Vision reveals the folly of blunt faith. Big frag grenade!
Victory is within our grasp.
All specs is ready. Changing magazine.
Victory is within our grasp.
Scanner pride. Frag grenade. My favorite. Loading up. What truths need revealed?
Terrorize our foes.
A new Black Crusade begins now! None hide from my gaze. Swapping magazines.
Warband! Dominate and defile!
Frag grenades deployed!